Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Leo. Doesn't matter if you're sun, moon, or rising, though I am getting a very strong rising energy for this one. But it doesn't matter where it is in your chart. If it resonates for you, take it. If it doesn't, just leave it. So, Leo, a lot of downloads coming in just right away. First of all, there's a reading that I did months and months ago. It was for Leo rising. It's called The House Next Door. I'll link it above so that you can watch it after this video if you're interested. That feels like a past energy for you, but it also feels like it could be something that you're in the midst of at the moment as well. Like, it's informing where your energy is at the moment is how it's coming through. I haven't rewatched that one before doing this video, but I'll probably watch it after this, just to see what comes through. I am using the same deck that I used in that video, one of them at least, just to see if there are any interesting synchronicities that happen. Okay, and other things. What I was getting for you is that you... Like, I was just hearing, like, let's talk, Leo. Let's talk. I feel like there's somebody who wants to have a very serious conversation with you about something. It feels kind of like signing a contract or something like that. Whatever area of your life this relates to, it feels like that. Like making some sort of commitment to do something, or to like purchase something is how it was coming through to me, or like, so whatever it is, we'll get more cards, but we'll get cards, I should say. There was another image that I was getting of a tandem bicycle, like those bicycles that are for two or more people. That was the image that I was seeing for you, Leo. And it's interesting, I was seeing you as the second person, the person on in the second seat. And you were going on a test drive. That's how it was going through. So maybe you were, I don't know, the tandem bicycle is kind of coming through as like a symbol of something that you do with another person, obviously. But there's potential for like more seats is kind of how it's coming through behind you. So I actually feel like you, Leo, are like on a test drive, so to speak, on this tandem bicycle with somebody who's in front of you, right? They're the ones in the driver's seat, so to speak. And you're taking a test drive, which is interesting. I was also seeing kind of like this, like a coin, right? Like two sides of a coin. It's also coming through as like a coin flip. I feel like maybe you haven't made a decision yet, Leo. Especially because it's coming through with a test drive. Like if you're buying a new car, for example, you want to test drive before you sign the contract, right? There's something about that. Like, I feel like you're in the test drive process. And I feel like this may actually be like a new experience for you, where it's kind of like perhaps before in your previous experiences, you didn't have the luxury to have a test drive, for example. Like, you didn't have the luxury. It kind of feels like you just accepted or took or whatever, bought the car that was affordable to you, or that was passed down to you, or like that kind of thing. Like, it was kind of like you didn't have the luxury of having a choice or a test drive, for example. So there may be sort of like, there's this energy, Leo. It kind of feels like, okay, you and this other person are connected by a thread. Like it's like you were connected. It kind of feels like you are being pulled on by this person, not in a negative way. It just kind of feels like this person has some sort of goal or focus that they have. And for you, it feels like you're less so committed in that way, where it's like this person has a very clear focus and a clear destination, or like they're in the driver's seat. Feels like for you, you're sort of taking like the passenger kind of energy. That's how it feels. But because this is a general reading, flip it if that's not resonating for you. That's just sort of the perspective that I was being shown. So flip it if that's not resonating for you. You might be in the driver's seat and the other person is sort of behind you, that kind of thing. But it feels like I feel like you haven't quite made the decision yet, or there's still something about like a timing aspect that's important here. Okay, I'm just gonna start pulling cards. There's a lot of downloads that I like just needed to get out for you. I feel like there's one more, but I can't think of it yet. Oh, okay, there it is. So there's something here. Sorry, it's so warm in my room. I'm sweating. There is something here about the person who's in the driver's seat, whoever that is to you. I feel like you'll know who this is already. The person in the driver's seat feels like they're kind of like very serious, is how it's coming through. Like they're very, very serious. They're coming through with like a Virgo energy. Doesn't have to be Virgo, but that's sort of the place that they're in, where it's like they're very serious, or perhaps very focused on something, or perhaps in a hermit mode. Like they're very internal at the moment. They're not necessarily expressing things to you, perhaps, or that kind of thing. I don't feel like they're necessarily hiding anything from you. I feel like they're in like deep consideration about what this means for them. And it's also kind of like what I was seeing is that whoever this person is to you, they do not have anything to lose if you say no to this, is how it's coming through. So it's kind of like trying to take the pressure off of you, Leo, to make a decision, because it's like they're not going to lose anything if you decide not to join them. They're not going to lose anything. This isn't a situation where it's like, because it kind of comes through, especially with like the test drive, like you know how they're like, people are always trying to sell you something. This person is not trying to sell you anything. They're not going to lose anything if you say no. They have a lot to gain, is how it's coming through. They have a lot to gain by you partnering with them or something like that. But at the same time, they're not going to lose anything if you say no. So it's kind of like their energy feels like so incredibly serious. Like they're just like, but I feel like for you, Leo, you're a bit more, the expression that was coming through is like tongue in cheek. Like you're not that you're not taking it seriously, but that there's a bit more like lightheartedness in your energy compared to them, relative to them. They're a bit more serious. They're making sure that you know all of the that you're reading the contract very, very clearly, right? They're trying to make sure that you're reading the contract. Just in case, it feels like, just in case, they feel very cautious. That's why it's coming through with a Virgo energy. Their energy feels very cautious. Anyways, I'm gonna pull cards. Okay. There might be more that comes through. I just can't. It's not coming to mind at the moment. So, Leo. Root girl, the disowned self. Interesting. This is an aspect of you that I feel like there's like perhaps a fear. Perhaps there's some sort of fear, because it kind of feels like maybe you're feeling like, don't rush into this decision, Leo. Take your time with it. feels like. That's sort of what's coming through. There's also this feeling of like, if you don't make a decision, there's a fear of like missing out on it. And I feel like that's not true, Leo. That could be a fear. Like, you don't have to rush because you're not going to miss out on it, is how it's coming through. Just like, take your time with it. Take your time. Make sure that you're reading through the contract. You're understanding all of the potential, I don't know, it's coming through with consequences, but it doesn't feel like that necessarily. It just feels like making sure that you are going to get what you need out of this partnership, feels like. Anyways, so the root girl, the need for acceptance and love. Okay, this is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asked for your compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and were conditioned to believe you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have even inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self, it's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated. Your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look to her beauty. There's something here, Leo, about, because I feel like this is coming through as being like that example of like, in the past, perhaps you did not have the luxury of choice. There's a lot of energy there. That feels kind of tangled. I feel like you didn't have the luxury of choice. Like there was kind of this energy of like, just like accepting what it is that you were given and having to sort of accept that. That could have been part of like a karmic lesson that you were learning or something like that. And maybe this energy here that's like you have a choice now. You have a choice. You don't have to rush into this if you don't want to. Okay. There's kind of like, there may be like an overwhelm associated with that, like having a lot of choice all of a sudden. Because sometimes it is easier just to accept what is in front of you rather than like having to go out and search for something that's better. There could be that kind of energy here, right? Like you have to go and test drive a whole bunch of cars. But at the same time, there's also this feeling of like, I feel like you're not even... Maybe there's an aspect, because I was seeing you in the passenger seat, so to speak, of this tandem bicycle. You would not be in the driver's seat. You would be like the passenger princess. You would be the passenger princess. I think that's a luxury as well. Like, you don't have to make all of the difficult choices. You can just sort of be the passenger who gets, like, chauffeured places, right? That might be a new experience for you. There's this sort of, like, passenger princess energy coming through here. But it feels like something where maybe it's like you don't. There's an there it is, the other example that I was forgetting. There's this time I went on a family trip with, it was my two sisters and my mom and me, the four of us. We went to San Francisco, and usually when we go on family trips together, I am the one who plans all of the activities, the places that we go to, like all of that, right? Like I'm the one who's planning everything usually. That trip though, in particular, I feel like 2019 might be a significant time for you. Anyways, that trip in particular was the first time that my youngest sister actually planned the trip. And she's a Virgo. She's a Virgo. It's her birthday recently. So maybe you are dealing with a Virgo. I don't know. But it kind of feels like maybe you are like surrendering control to someone else. And that might be an aspect of you that is uncomfortable to look at here with the root girl. Like you being the passenger princess. That's what this energy is going through with. That's how it feels to me. Which is interesting. That actually, though, in my experience, right, like was actually one of the more memorable trips for me because I wasn't planning it. I was just enjoying. I was allowing other people to sort of make decisions on my behalf, that kind of thing. Like I didn't have to worry about like making sure we got everywhere on time. It's kind of coming through like that. It's a very like intense. I've pulled one card. Okay. It feels like a very intense surrendering of control and allowing this aspect of yourself to flourish. The aspect of yours, so it could be feminine energy in terms of like you're not making all the decisions, you're sort of surrendering, you're allowing someone else to lead you, perhaps. Anyways, so there is sort of like this sort of like, there may also be like with the flipping of the coin energy, like you may be sort of fluctuating between two intense emotions, maybe like really, really enthusiastic versus like really fearful. It's kind of coming through like that. Because I feel like you're in the midst of it. It's like the coin is flipped in the air. The coin is flipped in the air. But the thing is, it's not just chance, though. I feel like you have a choice in which side of the coin flips up. You have a choice on which side of the coin flips up. That's very significant here. Yeah. The crossing, the initiation. This card comes through with this energy of like there's something on the other side that you're not seeing. It's being described to you though. What's on the other side, like, because it feels like you're on the threshold of making this decision. You're on the threshold of making this decision. And it's kind of like what's being shown to you in this portal is almost like the potential, right? What the potential is being described to you. It's so interesting. Like you could be a passenger princess. You could sort of just allow somebody else to like drive you around, so to speak, like that kind of thing. And there's a coin toss. You have 654 coming through. 654. It feels like there's change because it's kind of like the coin flip, right? That's an aspect of change. Something is in the air and it's going to land one way or another. I feel like you have a choice, Leo. It feels kind of like a yes or no kind of thing. Or like a happy versus fearful kind of energy. You have a choice. And it's stable, whatever it is. You're moving into stability is how that's feeling to me. So you have 6, 5, 4, 3. 3, 3. Joyful muse, inspiration, woodwives, adaptability. 6 and 4. Again. So, okay, so there's this thing here about, like, the passenger princess. That's not a term I made up, right? That's just sort of a thing that I feel like is part of our culture now. A passenger princess. It feels like there would be, like, a lot, like, especially if, like, you're not the one driving, so to speak, there's, like, freedom to do other things, right? Like, it's like you can, I feel like there's an opportunity here to explore this aspect of yourself, whatever this is for you. We're going to get more cards on what that is. The aspect of yourself that is in need of love and acceptance. It feels like untapped potential. Perhaps it has something to do with like an old wish or something like that. Like a dream that you had. The root girl, the disowned self. The rose garden. Hold on, I haven't used this deck in a while. There it is. Sensitivity, awareness of nature, integrated whole, and strength. Look at this beautiful woman who has transformed into a flower. She holds a red blooming rose to the place where her heart belongs. Her hair has become a leaf blown by the wind. She is a part of nature and grows stronger with her every gentle touch and loving gesture. She's not alone. Her friends, the caterpillar and butterfly, are here to visit. Thorns threaten to prick her, but she's not scared. A rose is beautiful and strong because of its thorns, not in spite of them. There's something about the thorniness here. There's thorns. It could be something about fear. Like, it feels to me like accepting something that you are afraid of. It feels like part of your identity as well. Like, an aspect of your identity or an aspect of your, like, your natural self, maybe, here with the rose garden, that perhaps has not had an opportunity to shine. Because, again, with the potential, right? The caterpillar versus the butterfly. I feel like there's an aspect of your life that is very fully realized with the butterfly. But there's an aspect here of the caterpillar that feels kind of uncomfortable. So, the crossing, the initiation. That's a really lovely card. Because I feel like it's something about, like, allowing the root girl to become a rose. I feel like that's what's on the other side, what's waiting for you. Some aspect of yourself is wanting to bloom. I hope you're not offended by the term passenger princess. Okay. White rose of hope. It's that's sort of the tongue-in-cheek energy coming through, right? It's like, I don't know if that's because it feels kind of like, another metaphor with the coin toss. It's like you and this other person, whoever the driver is in this scenario, are so connected, right? Like that it's like you're two sides of the same coin as well. That so it's kind of coming through like that as well, which is interesting. So you have white rose of hope, another rose, white rose of hope. This one, yeah, hope, beacon, solution, beginnings. We see a woman dressed in a blue gown standing somewhere in a lonely landscape. Darkness surrounds her, but a shining white rose glows like a beacon and illuminates the night. Maybe this woman is lost, maybe she is uncertain about her feelings, yet thanks to the light of the flowers she can find her way. White roses symbolize hope, new beginnings, admiration, and young love. There are exciting times ahead with the initiation, right? There's some sort of hope that is pulling you to the other side of this. I feel like you have to surrender and say yes to whatever this is. That's just what I'm seeing here. But of course you have the choice, right? It's so interesting. I always see sort of like bird bones in her dress here. And how like bird bones are hollow, right? So that they can fly. I don't know if that's true. That's just something that I heard once. It's a feeling of like feeling unsure of your feelings, maybe feeling unsure of this decision or this choice. Joyful muse, inspiration. Mermaid's love. Well, there's the driver. That's you, the passenger princess, and your driver. That's how it feels. Love, partnership, support, accord. A loving couple is shown on this card. The woman is a mermaid. Her hair and tail seem to float her through the sky. A man with feathers holds her hand. He grounds and protects her. He is her base. They are from different worlds, water and the sky, but they are complete together, a perfect love union. Their differences make them stronger and balanced. They support each other in their own way, but always from a place of respect and love. This is a significant partnership for you, Leo. That's what's on the other side of this. It does feel kind of like support and an accord, like an agreement, a contract of some sort. I feel like there's like, because it's kind of like in this partnership, there are perhaps like clear roles maybe or something like that. Like one person drives, the other person is the passenger. Metaphor, right? There could be a whole bunch of like different areas in which this and how this plays out. I feel like though perhaps maybe you're not used to being the quote unquote passenger. That's how it's feeling. You're the one who usually drives is how it's feeling. So it's kind of like there may be a shift in that aspect for you where it's like being the passenger. Sorry, I'm getting like this energy of like when my mom is the passenger for me, she like has like an ironclad grip on the handle. I'm a good driver, I think, but whenever she's in the passenger seat, there's like fear, like anxiety. Maybe that's part of your energy as well, Leo. Maybe there's like anxiety, like it could be something about like well, trust is clearly a factor here. I feel like do you trust this person? Do you trust this person? Are they a good driver? That kind of thing. Like those are kind of things that you should be asking if you're if you're gonna be a passenger. That kind of like line of inquiry. Is this inquiry inquiry. Is this like, are they a good driver? Have they ever been in an accident? Like, do they speed? These are questions that I feel like maybe you're asking yourself or should be asking yourself. So there's an aspect here of feeling safe, right? Like feeling like safe and secure in this. Maybe you're the serious one, Leo. I don't know. That's why it's kind of coming through the flip of the coin. There's this energy here of being like really like enthusiastic, like, yes, let's go, let's do this. And then the fear. It kind of flips between both, and like the seriousness, like making sure that like everything's going to work out, like reading the fine print really, really, really closely, like, there's something about like, an announcement. Like waiting for an announcement. Knight of Pentacles. This whatever this root girl energy is something that you have kept protected with the Knight of Pentacles. You've kept it protected. But it is a very unique aspect of yourself that, because, okay, I see this as a black unicorn. That's what this card comes through with. Because normally we see unicorns as being white. Like every picture of a unicorn that are on cards are usually white. This is coming through as a black unicorn. It's rare and unique and mystical, but it's not typical or like the expected. Like it kind of feels like with the root girl energy, it's something where it's like, perhaps there's like a fear of acceptance because it is different, or that it's not like what is expected, so to speak. It could be that, like a fear of acceptance because it's different. Interesting. Okay, you have 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Wow. 9 of Pentacles, though. Okay, this is where your like very strong independence comes in, Leo. Very strong independence here at the 9 of Pentacles. The 2 of Swords, which is interesting because these 2 swords are not crossed here. The swords are not crossed. They're not against each other. That's how it's coming through. Because there may be something where it's like maybe in past experiences, right? Like, in past experiences, I'm going to keep with the car metaphor. It's just convenient. Where, like, perhaps convenience was, an aspect, like because it's kind of like perhaps you didn't have, again, the luxury of choice or the luxury of having all of the things that you need, or like there's something here about like you know, on feature, like car features, right? Like how you have like lower level cars, for example, like the entry level cars have just sort of like the base things, right? The more sort of like upper levels have more car functions. It's still a car, but it has like little things that are more like luxurious, or like add more comfort, or more like that kind of thing. That's how it's feeling to me with this energy. It's kind of like before, maybe you didn't have a choice. You just accepted what it was that you were able to afford, or like what was given to you. If you like inherited a car from a relative, for example, that kind of thing. But it's kind of like you have choice now. You have all of this choice here. The Two of Swords is telling me you don't have to choose between two things. You can have both. You can have it all, that kind of thing. That's what this Two of Swords, like, you can have any model of car that you want. You don't have to settle for just what it is that you can afford. That kind of thing. I feel like that's sort of, and I'm not talking literally. This feels very metaphor to me. I don't know. Maybe some of you are literally buying a car, but it feels more like what's on the other side is the potential is that you can have it all, whatever it is, all the things that you need out of this vehicle. You can have that. You can have that. However, it requires taking the armor off. It requires taking the armor off, right? You're not going to be the one who's driving. You can have the most luxurious experience, but you're not in the driver's seat. That's what's feeling like the thing that perhaps is the hesitation. I feel like, though, if there is somebody who's feeling like there's like they don't want to sacrifice their independence, that's how it's looking to me with the 2 9s. You don't have to sacrifice your independence here because you have 9 of Cups leading to the 10 of Cups. I don't think that you can have the 10 of Cups if you don't have the 9. If you're not personally satisfied or happy with your independence and yourself, the 10 of Cups is not possible. That's my personal opinion anyway. So I feel like that's how it's coming through. You're not going to lose your independence here, even if you are, quote unquote, a passenger princess. You're not losing your independence. You can still be independent and be like very strongly independent and be in a partnership. I feel like there's, you're not losing anything in that case. That's how it's coming through. Because maybe in the past, it's like, maybe in the past, if you were a quote-unquote passenger princess, the previous partners or drivers or whatever perhaps did not allow for your independence. That could be part of it. King of Cups. So in this case, I feel like there's like so much potential here. Take your time with it, Leo, though. Like, take your time. Make sure you're reading everything clearly. Okay. So you have 2 of Cups, Hanged Man, 7 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 2 of Wands, and the World. You have 2, 2, 2 here. 2 of Swords, 2 of Wands, 2 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like this energy is like you are already attached to this person in whatever way, like energetically, right? Because it feels like you were considering this. It feels like there's already an attachment here. The other person may be in a Hanged Man position because of this. Or perhaps you are, I'm not sure. Because it's flipping. Your energies are so connected. Like, imagine, like, a string, right? Like a string that's tying the two of you together. You are the same already. You're one. That's how it's coming through. You're connected by this thread. And so your energy and their energy are already connected. To me, that's how it's feeling. I feel like, so I'm just gonna say it, like, it feels kind of like both are in this like very, a time of consideration of making sure that you both are happy with the quote unquote conditions, maybe, or like, because there's something here about the 6 of Swords, 3 of Swords. I see this as like 3 of Swords times 2. Because I feel like there may still be like hurts and pains from the past, like wounding from the past that each person is still carrying. So it kind of feels like things like, expectations that were not met in previous relationships, for example, or, like pain from previous relationships, or if it's not a relationship for you, it could be you and a job opportunity, right? It could be you and, I don't know. It could literally be like a house or a car, like a material thing for you that you're connected with already. Like it doesn't have to be a person. That's just how it's coming through here. Feels very strongly like that. It could be you and an experience, right? So just take it how it resonates. But it's like there are past energies that are needing to be sort of like cleared out or worked through still, about perhaps like past disappointments, past expectations, past like I feel like experiences maybe that where there was like broken trust or unmet needs or pain, whatever this is, because this kind of comes in with like a melancholy kind of energy. That might be where the hesitation is, like making sure that all of those sort of things are like cleared out and worked through, or that there's a new perspective on those experiences, like disappointments and such, like that kind of thing. And then you have 2 of Wands, because I'm seeing this as being like getting prepared to step through the threshold, step over the threshold, whatever this is. And then you have the World underneath the King of Cups. I'm getting sort of a Scorpio energy here. Because you're Leo fixed sign fire, right? So it feels again like another, like they're so maybe they have Scorpio in their chart somewhere, or it doesn't have to be though, but it just is emphasizing that they are Leo here, Scorpio is this figure. I don't know, actually. That might be. Anyways, the point is that they're a different element to you. They're different. They're different from you, but it would be a sound partnership is how it's coming through. Very stable. I feel like here with the King of Cups, a lot of emotional maturity. King of Cups, can I clarify? 5 of Wands. This 5 of Wands, as well as this 2 of Swords, are very interesting, because normally 2 of Wands or 2 of Swords is crossed, and the 5 of Wands, all the wands are going in different directions. This one is actually like there's alignment is what I'm seeing. So it's not necessarily, it actually comes through as being like people with different perspectives, all aligned towards the same goal. That's what I see this Five of Wands as. So it's like people with different perspectives, you and this other person, perhaps have different perspectives or different, like there's difference. But that when you align those differences towards one goal, it becomes almost like harmonious is what's coming through here. I feel like the difference is actually the strength in this dynamic. The difference is the strength. There's strength in differences. Okay, I'm going to get one more card from this deck. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles and the stars coming out. Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let's see what that's going. Because I've seen... Okay. There's something here about, like, Five of Pentacles. I actually feel like this is sort of coming through as being, like, you and this other person actually have a shared destination, is how it's coming through. You and this person have a shared destination, because I feel like there was something about, like, a fear of, like, you losing out on your independence, or, like, whatever that is for you, right? Like, something about, like, your personal goals, maybe, or something like that. Fear of like having to compromise on that, or that you would lose your independence, and that might be part of the hesitation. In this case, what I'm seeing is that, like, you and this person actually have a shared purpose or destination. So it's like you can only really help one another is how it's coming through. You wouldn't be losing anything of your own independence or anything like that, or like whatever, like wish fulfillment, right? With the Nine of Cups and the Star, something that you want to work towards, you want to achieve. You wouldn't be losing anything in that regard, because you and this person actually have an alignment in your goals or purposes, that kind of thing. You're working towards the same thing. You're going to the same place. You can only gain from this partnership, is how it's feeling to me. There's something here, though, with the Hierophant. I feel like Seven of Swords, Four of Pentacles. Needing to let go of, like, limiting beliefs. Perhaps, like, very traditional beliefs here with the Hierophant. Could be, like, traditional beliefs. Or, there's perhaps, like, a fear of, like, institution and an institutional belief, like, or that fear that, like, a person's needs and like your needs, maybe Leo, maybe there's a fear of, like, your needs being coming second to, like, something like the Hierophant energy, which could be some sort of institutional belief, or like something that's like, I don't know what that is, honestly. Could be religious. There could be, like, religious factors that, or things like of a, like, a group mentality, maybe, like, there may be, yeah, it might be that with the independent, like, fear that, like, one person's needs or that kind of thing will come second to a group mentality, or it could be religious. I don't know. That's sort of how it's coming through today. For some reason, this Hierophant, of all the Hierophants, is the most religious feeling to me. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like you don't have to worry about that, though, because it's like what I'm seeing here is that you're actually moving towards the same goal or purpose. Maybe you don't know that yet. Maybe that's a question you should ask. If your goals are aligned. I feel like they are, though, with the Star. It's coming through with Aquarius energy as well. Something about like 4 pillars or like pillars. Like if you're like building like you're building a structure, like the pillars that hold up the house, right? Foundation is already laid, it feels like. Feels like now you're building like the pillars to hold up the rest of the structure. It's in alignment though. That's what I'm seeing here with the 5 of Wands. There could be sort of like things that are being worked through at the moment, like perhaps it's not necessarily conflict with this one, but it's like aligning energies that perhaps are still needing a bit of restructuring or whatever it is. I don't know. Okay, Leo. I'm going to pull one card from this animal deck to close it off. There may still be sadness that is sort of like coming through. So be patient with that process. I feel like there's this energy here of like the coin is still in the air, which is coming through as being like the 2 sides, right? Like, I think I mentioned this in that last Leo reading, like, you know, those drama masks where one has like a happy face, one has the sad face. It's like I'm seeing the coin having those 2 sides and it's still flipping. It's still in the air. It's still like turning. So it's kind of like there may be like a flip-flopping energy within yourself about emotional like happiness versus sadness. It's like it keeps flip-flopping between those. Be patient. Eventually the coin will land, right? Eventually it'll like stabilize. But it feels like it's still in the air at the moment. Okay. I mean, we gotta be patient with this deck. It likes to take its time. Okay, perception. Yeah, this is... Okay, I gotta read this one. Perception. 1 second. The ostrich. Ostrich speaks to us about perception. The image of burying one's head in the ground conjures a feeling of the inability to face a wider perspective. To be fair, the ostrich burrows her head in the ground not to hide, but to rotate her eggs. When this card comes to you in a reading, however, it is the symbolism of burying one's head in the ground that we are meditating upon. Studies have been conducted to show that a hill will spatially be perceived as steeper when a person is feeling sad. Our emotion literally shapes our perception. We do not see life objectively. Instead, the way we see our physical reality is influenced by our internal emotional experience. When a situation reminds your subconscious of an uncomfortable memory, your subconscious will start to shape what you see through the lens of that past experience. Ostrich asks you to look at your current situation and recognize what perceptions you may be projecting onto it. One way to begin to shift your perception is to own that your understanding is never fully accurate. Instead of drowning in uncomfortable feelings, step back and understand that your emotions do not dictate ultimate truth. Realize the control you have over your thoughts about a situation. This control is strengthened the more you become cognitively aware of your perception by questioning it. Start to notice the autopilot chatter in your mind. Listen to how it belittles you and other people around you. As the Buddhist meditation teacher and psychologist Tara Brach teaches, the primitive brain continuously hijacks our ability to be present in the moment. The thoughts are real, but rarely do they hold any validity. Tell yourself, don't believe the thoughts over and over again. This not only snaps you out of the autopilot zombie mind, but also starts to reprogram your brain and put you in charge of your perception. Ostrich medicine asks you to consistently practice this awareness, and you will transition from being a victim of your thoughts to becoming a master of your perception. Okay, Leo, that summed up basically all of this. It's the Six of Swords energy, a flipping between happiness and sadness, maybe. It's like an emotional energy that's sort of influencing how you see the potential of this situation, it feels like. So just being mindful of that. I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.